Have you not noticed with Illuminati, it's always black people that we target? Why do I feel a shift of black women and black men targeting each other? This is a mental thing. This is a mental fight. What are we doing as a community? Even if you're a black American, at the end of the day, you're still African. Because if it would have been another woman that's not black, you would not have reacted that way. How can you tell a black woman her business is too expensive? Oh my god, because the second one is actually pissing me off. Hi guys, welcome back to a new episode of Black Girl Psychology. This is a podcast where I talk about my own experiences, but also experiences that I see on social media or just in society that I feel that are important to address. Every month I come out with a new episode, so yeah, let's get into it. Today's episode is going to be about why are black women's businesses never supported by the community. Of course, I exaggerated a little bit out there. I just want you to stay to watch. It's not every black woman's business, but it is a topic that keeps happening. Definitely something that happens on repeat, and I feel like we need to talk about it because it needs to be a serious discussion. The reason why I wanted to discuss this topic is basically because of an influencer called Natalee B Fitness. So yeah, let's get into it. Historically, major threats towards black women's businesses were external. It was mostly white people. We all know how slavery went. We all know how women before that didn't have rights, let alone black women. So that was like a normal thing back in the day. We talked about white mobs, about discriminatory laws. We talked about redlining, which is a real thing, which until this day people don't believe in. Anyways, and denial of capital. I've done my research, but I have my laptop right here. So if you see me looking at my screen, that's why. Evidence has shown us that this is not a new phenomenon. It's been going on since the 1800s. Imagine. I will first talk about how since the 1800s black women are being targeted, black women's businesses, and then I will slightly then move to today, and you will actually see that it went from the white race to the black race, your own community even shaming you. Back in the day, it started with Mary Ellen Pleasant. She was arguably the black female entrepreneur. She was white passing though. She was white passing, but she was definitely black. She fought for black people and she saw herself as a black woman. She was viciously smeared by the white press, despite her success. She was recently nicknamed as well as Mommy Peasant. Yikes. And labeled as a voodoo queen, with newspapers accusing her of witchcraft, which is something that actually today is still happening, but we'll get onto that. Now let's go quickly onto the 20th century. Apartheid. I don't know if y'all know it. This concept is in the south of Africa. Is basically policies that are explicitly hindering black women, not even black women, black people actually, of going out of certain areas, of going to certain places where white people just did not want to see black people. Mostly though, it hindered economic activity and black women's economical activity. In 1956, 20,000 black women marched against the pass laws that barred black women and black men from basically having any livelihood of opportunities. Now let me quickly explain to you what are pass laws, and I'm going to read it for you just so I'm explaining it very well for you. So pass laws were basically made for black South Africans were required to actually carry a passbook or pass documents. You can even compare it to a passport when you want to exit your country or when you want to enter a country. They had to have this passport, let me just call it that, all the time, anywhere. If they were seen without it, they would be immediately arrested by the police and they would have very big consequences. Let me continue. It was basically a way to control where black people could live, work, and even travel. Without a valid pass, like I said, a person could be arrested, fined, or even detained. Another example that I found that's actually still being done today. I don't know if you guys are known with the concept of Obeah practitioners. Basically, Obeah practitioners, they live in the Caribbean. Obeah was basically brought from West Africa during slavery. It was brought to the Caribbeans, and it's practice of resistance, healing, etc., etc., etc. Basically, something positive. Of course, there's also always a negative side to spirituality, but globally it was meant to be used positively to heal people. So, Obeah practitioners were black men and black women, which is very funny because people always focus on the black women in the conversation. But like I'm about to say, it's mainly focused on the women's practitioners. And of course, the females were prominent. They were more females. They were often leading figures, the women. Many women were drawn to the practice because of economical advantages and social advantages. That would not have been possible otherwise because of slavery. People even went to consultations that people were actually paying for them. But of course, like every story or every business, that quickly changed. That quickly changed after the British passed the Obeah Acts. And the Obeah Acts basically means that you are not allowed. You are not allowed at all to practice this, which is very interesting. Making the practice a serious criminal offense, which is the reason why today as well people are still hunting down people that practice it. But when you think about it, it's quite sad because people with these businesses that depend on it are literally accused of witchcraft and of criminal activity and of just everything negative when these people are just trying to survive, like you and me. Even in Africa, it's still happening where widow women are literally forced outside of their comfort zone, outside of their home, because they're being accused of witchcraft. This is happening in Ghana, but in other countries as well, which basically isolates them and makes them look more like a witch. Next example, we're gonna go to Kenya. We're still in the 20th century, by the way. In Kenya, the law says women have the right to own and control land and property equally as men. Many women, they still can't exercise those rights due to traditional customs and community pressure. They often just stop owning land or property. This is still going on today. Moving on to America. So there was something called Black Women's Club. Black Women's Club was, well, as it described, it was a club for black women, where they would gather, fight against racism, but also police on the way a black woman should behave, a black woman should dress, etc., etc., etc. So stopping at the last part, they were being policed on the way they should act, dress. As y'all know, it was bound to the church as well. So you're supposed to act modest. You're supposed to be clothed modest. And women that were not following these rules were basically being put out of these groups. It was like, bye-bye. And you have to know that with these groups, you had economical advantages, again, social advantages. Women that were kicked out of these groups, they lose all of that and they're left alone. They left to vent for themselves. There's something as well, social exclusion, the way it can literally F up your mental. It has a very, very big impact. And I think a lot of people don't understand it. You can even compare it to bullying. But then again, bullying is something consistent when exclusion is just, you're done. But still, imagine being isolated. Imagine feeling comfortable, having a group, having people you can talk to daily, to then just being kicked out of it and having to move by your own. We're human beings. We're meant to build connections. We're meant to have friendships, have network, etc., etc. That's literally humanly impossible to not do. So imagine not having that. So I'm also going to name a few examples of women that had to do with basically the standard of being a black woman in the community. You have Madam C.J. Walker. In her early career, she had challenges with social respectability. You also have Michelle Tornat. She's a black hair care entrepreneur in the 1990s, where she spoke about how she faced social ostracism and criticism from local black churches and clubs because her business was seen as too modern or not traditional enough. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Because I've heard it multiple times. This also plays a big role in why I wouldn't say it's easier for the white person to start a business. But then again, I would dare to say it's easier because they don't have these roadblocks. Every time we're trying to do something, it's boop, another roadblock, whoop, something else, something else, something else. And it always has to do with race, which is so unfair. It's literally just the color of your skin. It's another thing, like, I know I'm going off topic, but racism should be a mental illness. Like, do y'all not agree? How can you hate someone by the color of their skin? How can you want to slave someone out by the color of their skin? Put them through slavery for 400 years and then gaslight them into telling them that they deserved it and that they the bad person. When have we ever done something bad to you? We were so welcoming and naive to let you into our continent. Racism is gaslighting. That's gaslighting, and it's crazy, and it should be in the DSM-5. So, do you know the Afro-Brazilian soccer player Paulino? He practices candomblé. So this again is a spiritual act again that's being done. This is usually done in spiritual houses where rituals and community activities happen. Practitioners have been carried out by evangelic groups, so including black evangelics. Again, the same as the Obeah practitioners, they're being accused of, again, witchcraft. They're being hunted down. These spiritual houses are literally being broken down when this is something, again, like I said, is a center for the community to come in. It's, again, the women that are in charge of these places. That's how they get their money. Like, it's basically their business, their job. Like, without that, they don't have anything. They literally do not have anything else. What I read as well, I'm gonna read it out, which says, these women are often community anchors who support the community economically. So not only themselves, through these spiritual houses. So everything that I mentioned is literally, again, like I said, the external sources attacking us as a community, specifically the black women. I'm not going to focus on black men because they're being attacked as well, but let's focus on the main topic, black girl psychology. Why do I see a shift? Why do I feel a shift of black women and black men targeting each other? What are we doing as a community? And I have multiple examples that happened recently, but there are plenty other examples as well. Let me start with the shy ourselves. So basically, a TikToker started to say that, oh, she had a bad experience with an African auntie braiding her hair. And she had this great idea, definitely not, to start boycotting African hair shops, like by aunties. She was saying, oh, these African aunties, like, they can't do their job good. Let's all boycott them. Like, I don't want them to be here anymore. I don't know what she said. Now I'm just paraphrasing, but basically that's the way she came across. Why would you, even if you're a black American, at the end of the day, you're still African. We're still all black. Why would you want to boycott your own people's business? You can have had a bad experience. I'm not taking that away from you. But we as a community, the way we go about it with each other is crazy. Why don't we just have a simple conversation? Like, why don't we just try to better each other? Give positive criticism. Be like, hey, I didn't like how you acted. Maybe for the next client you can do it this way. Or Try to build each other up. Why are we always trying to break each other down by one mistake? Every business owner makes a mistake. Why are we doing that? And why are we so quick with our own people? That's the hardest part. Because if it would have been another woman that's not black, you would not have reacted that way. Or maybe you would. I don't know. But we should not bash on each other. And we should not put each other down. And leave my African aunties alone as well. It's messy. It's messy. Because this is not about boycotting some big company like shea butter. This is literally a black woman calling for the economic shutdown of another black woman's business. I'm gonna move on to my last example before I'm gonna start my ranting session. This last one is about Natalee B Fitness. So if you're not known with Natalee B Fitness, she's from London, from the UK, a black woman, and she has taken the initiative to build a woman's only gym. The reason why is because she was assaulted a few years back. I don't know exactly when, but that pushed her for the ID. She has also asked her followers for money to fund, but she was mainly funded by Gymshark? I don't know, just by a big company that gave her a lot of money. Her followers in total maybe raised 2k pounds, and she has, from what I heard, already refunded everyone back. There's a lot of controversy about it. The controversy, of course, centers on gender identity partially and economics on the other end. One, transgender people are not allowed. And secondly, it's too expensive. Guys, oh my god, because the second one is actually pissing me off. How can you tell a black woman her business is too expensive? How can you tell a black woman that she needs to down her prices? For me, it's very simple. In general, I have this quote. If I cannot afford something, I'm not doing it. If I can't afford something, I'm not going. I cannot afford her gym. I am not going. But this is her business and she chooses her own prices. There are other gyms that offer less or offer the same or offer more, I don't care, that have higher prices than her. She has talked to business owners and even people that just know the environment. They even told her to put her prices higher. So imagine, she even already chose a low price and people are still not happy. And this is something I've just seen happening again and again and again with black women. Like, we can never do something right. There's always something. There's always something. And the worst part is our own community fighting against us. It's our own community not standing beside us. This just shows, this underscores a pattern. Like, black women business owners, people are very quick to shut down black women's businesses. I'm putting out a disclaimer. I'm not saying that every black woman's business is good. There are some people, y'all are not meant to be business owners, respectfully. Work on it. But instead of putting each other down, like I said before, offer elevating criticism. It's embarrassing to see your own community bash each other, not support each other, not have your back. Because who else is gonna have her back? This even goes further than the entrepreneur industry. Have you not noticed with Illuminati? Oh, Beyonce's Illuminati, Jay-Z's Illuminati. Have you not noticed that it's always black people that we target for Illuminati? I cannot name you one white artist that has ever been accused of Illuminati. That's another example. Like, why are we doing this? Like, are we actually conscious of what we're doing? Like, we talk about, oh, we need to build a community, like we need to help each other, we need to support each other. But then at the same time, you do one thing wrong, oh, yeah, no. Just get angry, so emotionally angry. And I'm just so confused about that reaction against each other. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Again, like I say with every video, it is a way to bring out certain topics that we as a community need to think about. This is a mental thing. This is a mental fight that we have to deal with ourselves and with the community. Why are we doing that? Why are we not supporting each other? Why are we not supporting Black women? It's sad. It's sad. And I feel like we need to think about our actions, think about what we do and say before we actually do it. Okay guys, thank you for watching another episode of Black Girl Psychology. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure it out the way I'm trying to do it, because I have these interesting topics that I want to talk about, but it's just so difficult for me to find the right way to do it. And I am trying it. I'm trying to put out scripts for me to read it, because I'm someone, I can't remember everything. So I don't know if I'm just always gonna just put my laptop here and do it, or I have to remember everything, because I want to speak to the camera as well, because otherwise it would just feel like an unpersonal conversation, and I don't want that. But I feel like for me the most important thing is that the message is clear, and the message today was, let's support each other, and if someone is doing something wrong, let's try to DM them. Let's try to, not even DM, you can even put it in the comments, but try to be nice about it. I'm not talking about feelings here in a way I am, but I'm more talking about, let's not make it look to the outside that we don't support each other, because that trickles down into why a lot of people don't respect us as a community. You can agree or disagree, put it in the comments. Like, I love debates, discussions, but that's one of the main reasons, because if we don't respect each other, if we don't support each other, why would someone else do it? Okay. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Black Girl Psychology. If you have any suggestions of topics that I can talk about, you can also put them down below. I'm gonna upload again. I upload once a month. I will, in the future, I would want to do it twice a month free, and then every week. But of course, like I'm saying, I'm still developing this series, still trying to figure out how I'm going to actually present it to you guys. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I as well accept feedback, criticism, positive criticism, elevating criticism. And yeah, I'm just open to it all. So thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode, and probably after this, the next vlog. Bye. Bye.